Okay, so the assignment advice, this unit actually, for the amount of vocab it has, there is not that much confusion and coaching that needs to happen for the assignments. If you just review all the vocab and remember what we're describing, they're really easy. Conversation starter 1, as you've probably seen already, it's very easy. Conversation 2, they use shoes. And at one point, they do this big sort of J-shaped for nice shoes. It's an emphasis. We know nice, right? But you can see they kind of do a big swooping motion. So that means that's an emphasis. Strict. I believe we've seen this before. Strict. And then code, dress code. You'll sometimes see it as like rule. Must follow. You'll sometimes see that. Comfortable. They never really explain this one, comfortable. I don't think it was in ASL 1 either. And use or wear. People will also do, I wear those every day, my shoes, right? Oh, that's weird. Hold on, sorry. Trying to make sure that everything's clear. And if I don't catch it now, let's see if that does it. No, it's not doing it. Oh well, never mind. So we'll go back to here. We'll go back to here. And we're back to here. Okay. So conversation starter 3, expensive. So the sign for money, you tap it once and then you get burnt by it. Expensive. Ooh, expensive. Ooh, that hurts, right? Okay. You know what? I didn't mention in conversation starter 1, she does this, and I think she's meaning party, like soiree at work, a to-do that she's got to get dressed up for. It was a weird construction of that one, so that was a very odd one. Conversation starter 4, they mention flip-flops or flip-flops. Sometimes you see with 2, boom, boom, or like sandals. Exercise shoes, running. It's kind of hard to see the running that she signs. And again, sandals, flip-flops. Conversation starter 5, again, pretty easy. In the conversation where they're both talking about how they don't like plain solid color clothes, and he's like, well, you're wearing it. And she's like, and her excuse, hopefully you figured it out, but she says, all the others are all dirty, last minute. So you can sign last and then come right up into minute. Last minute, meet you. Beef. Shut up, right? And then 5-3, nice meaning plain. And also he does this. He takes that piece of advice and he's going to file it away and keep it in the back of his mind so he remembers it, right? People will also sign it with one. Ooh, I got to remember that. Another similar sign that is just added vocab is if it's etched into your brain. You know, if you see something that's pretty traumatic, I'm never going to forget it. My wife saw Jaws when she was really little. Her parents told her, don't watch it. Do not watch this movie. It will give you nightmares. And my wife is very rebellious. So that night, when everyone went to sleep, she put on Jaws and she watched it. And she's got a fear of sharks that she will never shake because of that. So it's a similar idea to this. This is much more positive than this. All right. So worksheets are really easy. The first worksheet, I was going to type out the list. They give you 2 things to choose from. For the most part, they're really easy. So just review the vocab. Once you feel comfortable, just dive in. The first time you may have a couple moments, but then after that, it's really easy. Your second time through, you should ace it. Worksheet 2 just has a lot. I think it's got 10 questions and there are variables in each. It's 3 different variables. There's number of articles of clothing, the type of article of clothing, and then the color. And then sometimes there's a detail about it, a pattern. There's one that I have no idea why it's there, unless I think the confusion is PJ, and they're hoping you get something else out of it, which seems odd, but I'll leave that up to you. But the answers are all there, so just look at the answers. And again, look at the answer. How would I sign that? Then watch the video. So that's worksheet 2. The best way of practicing that while you're doing that is just come up with, pick a number. If you've got a die or a couple of dice, throw them, pick that number, sign it, sign an article of clothing, and describe it. That's going to be your best practice for that. Or just go through and the vocab and just put it up on the wall and throw darts at it or something. But they're building up to this thing where you're going to have 3 descriptives, possibly 4. So you're going to have color pattern, the number of color pattern, the number of objects, and the object itself. So just we're building up, as you've noticed. Then we get to the 8.1 to 8.3. The comprehension quiz is just watching it's the same thing. It's watching a description of somebody and then answering the questions. Again, it's pretty easy. It's pretty clear. And then the comprehension test that ends all of Unit 8, it's really easy. Like if you know the material for this chapter, it's going to be easy. And most of it is very descriptive. The comprehension story is a situation this person is going to describe, and they're going to talk about like trends. So think about how you would sign these things. So how would you talk about someone getting lots of scars, that being a fashion thing, and wear, tattoos, body piercings, feet binding. That one was kind of a weird one, but if you've got like feet, boom, and then you wrap it up. So feet, right? Squish them. Neck stretching and rings. If you need to look up any of these, if these are words that make no sense to you whatsoever, but like ring, bing, 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 bing. Okay. And then earlobe stretching. And I don't know if like there are a couple of different ways to do it, but think about what they're talking about. And then there's a couple of different questions. I think there's 3 questions under this comprehension story. So if you remember 1,000 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years, and 100 years, or 100. You can see like 100,000 years, right, or 100 years, and then it goes back to those same ones again. That's another question about those topics. So you pick out which ones apply, and that's really it. There's not that much. The key with this is we're just getting longer and longer and longer. Where in ASL 1, it was word, 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 maybe a simple sentence. As we've been going through ASL 2, we're now trying to get longer and longer dialogues or utterances. So that's that. I will also include a vocab video. Again, look at what's the sign. It will give you all of them. They're just in a different order.